Louis Villard here, and I'm at France Under One Roof.
Nigel, you've been trying some Sauvignon Blancs today.
Yes, French Sauvignon Blancs under one roof.
What were you expecting, I guess?
Well, I was expecting them to be French. You know, it's not the New Zealand wine tasting, it's not New World, it's not Chile. I'm looking for food compatibility. Mm-hmm. These are wines that hopefully will go with some great dishes. So I'm looking for balance, freshness, fruit, but nothing too exuberant that's going to blow the food out of the plate.
Yeah.
And at all price points.
Alright, so back in the tasting room, and I've got
Nigel here again. And Nigel, we're trying a Sancerre, right?
Yeah, this is Chateau de Tournai from Bulgar. And I thought we'd start in the middle. Classic. We're looking for Sauvignon Blanc, so let's go to Sancerre and see what it's like. And classic Sancerre nose, very minerally, obviously very different to the New Zealand style. You could only really be in there. Loads of
You alright?
It's good, really.
You okay?
Loads of minerality, but there's a lovely freshness to it. It's quite a taut wine. It's elegant, it's quite fresh, nice balance in acidity, but there's good fruit there as well. It's quite restrained. It's quite held in.
And what would you have to eat with it? Or what would you like?
Well, it's. I mean, I suppose your classic. You could have goat's cheese, but it would also be great, perfect steamed fish, gentle white fish flavors.
Yeah.
But scallops in a cream sauce, maybe. It's got enough acidity to cut through some of that richness.
Oh, that sounds really good. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very good. I mean, a lot of the guys, watching this, I guess, will know what Sancerre is like. But this is a pretty textbook example, I would say.
Hey there, so I'm back with Nigel, and we're trying
Terrain. Can we see that on the label? There's quite a lot of glare. Domaine de Chazelle.
It's a lovely nose. It's not an aggressively sort of confected nose.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a lovely leafy, grassy, wet leaf quality, sort of like tomato leaf, blackcurrant leaf.
Morning dew.
Morning dew. It's like waking up.
Yeah.
And you're feeling good. And you reach for the Sauvignon Blanc. I certainly know I do. Just before coffee.
And so, like, we're talking about, like, food matchings, and, like, obviously everyone's going to say goat's cheese, but, I mean, I think this is quite, do you think, I just tried it, and I think it could probably stand up to, like, even a creamy sort of, like, fish sauce, like, even like a pasta? What do you reckon? I mean...
Definitely, no, absolutely. And this thing about goat's cheese, this one actually, for me, is a better match for the goat's cheese than the Sancerre, because it has much more of a bracing acidity. It's quite a racy wine. It's a brisk walk on a fresh morning with that dew rising up. It's got a lovely zingy freshness.
Yeah.
And I think it would actually stand to some Asian cuisines as well, because it has that lovely fruitiness to it.
Excellent.
That sort of acidity, I think, would be able to cut through some of the spices.
Okay. No, okay.
Louis here again, and we're at the snapshot tasting at France Under One Roof, and we came across a pretty nice Pouilly Fumé, Chateau de Tracy, and Nigel's just trying it right there. For me, this is the winner of the day.
Well, we kind of agreed on that, didn't we?
Yeah.
It's a lovely mouthfeel.
Mm-hmm.
Quite rich.
Yeah.
But still with that balance and acidity. Good fruit.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite a complete, grown-up, proper wine. There's no awkward edges. And it's got a good finish as well. It goes on.
It does last for a long time. I'm still tasting it right now, actually. Yeah. And so, food-wise with this, what? Don't say goat cheese.
No, I'm not going to say goat cheese.
All right.
I'm not going to say. I think you could roast turbot, something.
Oh, nice. That sounds great, actually.
Fat.
Yeah.
Muscular, because this wine has got some power and body behind it, but yet without losing that kind of essential Sauvignon character.
I was just about to round it up, actually, and take off, but then we decided to try this Alsatian sparkling Riesling, Method Traditional, and it's pretty good, Nigel, isn't it?
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's really interesting, because it's not what you're used to putting your nose in when you're given a sparkling glass of wine. And it absolutely does have that classic sort of slightly rubbery Riesling nose. I always think it smells of rubber bands. People say petrol, but for me it's always rubber bands all the way.
But it seems like just like a nice aperitif, sort of easy drinking
sparkler.
Yeah, it's like, where is it from? Alsace. It's like an
Yeah.
Alsatian Prosecco. It's got that kind of light, bubbly, you know, it's not the longest of finishes, but it's very Moorish. Perfect aperitif.
Glad we tried it.